actually. Need to grab this real quick. Do some quick repairs on it. Hello, humans, muggles, mages, things, human-shaped objects, whatever you people want to be called. Let's do some repairs this morning. That's your pouch, starting to show the insides, just like there. Going to repair it, so I don't have to worry about it. Bye, gang. Am I in trouble for being late? Cole, special ed. Good morning, special ed. Repairing stuff. Sharp objects. And dental floss. Hey, Mad Mac. How goes it this morning, humans? What you guys up to? Doing anything exciting? I am fixing my pack so I don't have to worry about all my little tiny stuff that lives inside of this little pouch falling out and disappearing, i.e. my shiny coins that I am so amused by. Shiny coins, shiny coins, shiny coins. Those are always interesting. When I was a little kid, I was visiting my grandparents. We moved to San Antonio, Texas when I was, like literally the day I turned 5. And before that, I lived, just use this, up in Ohio. But we moved to San Antonio, sorry, brain got caught in a loop. We moved to San Antonio and we were living, I think it was like 2nd grade, and we went to go visit my grandparents out in Alabama, and they were doing like some sort of like garage sale of sorts, you know. And what's up, good morning, Alaska. Brain fart. And this old guy came through, and I was working on like this project for Boy Scouts, which was like you had to do a collection of coins, and I was grabbing as many pennies as I could find, as old as I could get, as many of them, and putting them in a little binder. I think it got all the way back to like 1924 or some shit like that. And this old guy came through. It's like 87, something like that is what he said. And he said that he'd been collecting coins since he was a little kid. And he said said that I should come by and check it out. And I asked permission from my grandma, and my mom. They're like, yeah, go bike over there. I don't care. So I jumped on one of their extra bikes and biked over to his house. And when I got inside, the walls of his house were lined with all sorts of crazy coins, like big ones, small ones, big ones, all dated from like all the way back to like ancient time, from all over the world. The entire walls of this dude's house, were just covered in coins. And then he takes me back into one of his bedrooms, and he's all like, and you see right here on this wall, and he shows me this like really old like gray coin, and he said, this is from ancient times. He's like, I don't necessarily believe in religion, but if Jesus was real, this is a coin that Pontius Pilate would or would not have paid for him. The same type of coin, the same age, the same location. Not saying it's a coin from him. I'm just saying it was from that time. And I remember as a little kid just being so dumbfounded that some random person could go get one of those coins. I mean, it's not like like I said, it's not that it was like a religious thing. It was the fact that like he had something from that, and he could show me the documentation to prove that it was from that era, that time, that spot. And as a little kid, I was like, that's like the coolest thing ever. And it sparked interest in coins for me ever since. I thought it was like the coolest thing in the world to see that house lined with coins. Like you could tell this man had been collecting. He was rather well off, and yeah, I think millions and millions of dollars worth of freaking coins lining this dude's walls. Like no exaggeration, any way, shape, or form. Gold and silver and bronze and other stone and everything you possibly think of everywhere. Shit was amazing, dude. So yesterday, while hanging out doing my Nemo-ness, I decided that I was going to read this book I've been carrying around in my backpack, called Illusions. Something Reluctant Messiah. And give me a second. So just grab it out of my backpack. Here we go. So I read this yesterday. Illusions, The Adventures of a Reluctant Messiah. Glorious bestseller by Richard Bach, the author of Jonathan Livingston Seagull and The Bridge Across Forever. It was a pretty good book. It was all about this dude who lives out in the middle of nowhere in Indiana. And talking about, he was like, his whole thing was like, he was just some dude, he was some mechanic out in the middle of nowhere in Indiana, just like some dude. And he figured out the stuff one day. Like I talk about the stuff, you know? And he became quasi-famous. His whole thing was he was a mechanic that then ended up getting a little small jumper plane from like the early 1900s and taking people on 10-minute rides in the air in whatever weird little outside town, middle of nowhere, Ohio, wherever he was, for $3 a bit for $10. And he was like, he became famous not for that, but because like people were convinced that he was like some like new nowadays like wizard, holy man, something that could do all these things. And he's like, he stepped out of time and space, and then like this dude runs into him, and like the whole like message in the book is talking about how like it's all illusions. Everything in life, no matter what it is is an illusion. It's all brought up to, it was like, what's the movie, Men Who Stare at Goats with George Clooney. It said a lot of those same type of those lines, but like way back when, because this book's a lot older than that, I assume. And there's just like that whole like dichotomy of the whole like, we only really view a wall as a wall because that's what we think of when we think of a wall. But just like in the movie, at the end of the movie, like beginning and end of the movie, the beginning dude didn't do it, but at the end of the movie, Obi-Wan's character, I straight call him Jedis like 100 times, the best, runs through the wall. And like, that's a big thing. Like, they talked about it in the book. They were talking about how everything's an illusion. It's all how you project and perceive things. And he did the whole like Jesus bit where he's like, hey, walk out onto the water. And so he walked out on the water, and he's like standing in the water, and he's all like, and as we walked on the water, there was no ripple on the surface. It was as stone. And he's like, you smack it. He's like, but how can we do this and then still drink it? And he was funny because you think of it as a solid for now, but when you need to drink it, you will. And so I knelt down and scooped water up and drank it. He's like, and then I watched him walk to the end of the water, laughing the whole way, and then stepped off the water and dove into the earth. And he's swimming through the earth, laughing and causing waves through the grass and the soil. And then he climbs up, shakes, and he's like, come on, come do it. I jump in, expecting, he's like, it's all about perception, right? So this is going to be 2 feet. And I step off, and I sink way past my head. And I'm like struggling for air, swimming. And then I'm like trying to get out, and I can't. He's laughing. It's all about perception, so I make it strong again. And then later in the book, he's like, I make a stable spot and pull myself out. And later at the end of the book, they're all talking about, can you walk through walls? And he's like, well, what is it? He gives him the roundabout Messiah, like mystic man person bullshit answer of the whole like, well, you're asking it the wrong way. It's not necessarily can I, it's the fact of, is there really a wall in the first place to ask about? And at the end of the book, he walks through the wall. And right in front of dude, and dude's like, he's like, and I didn't even try. I'm pretty sure if I had turned right then and walked through the wall with him, it would have worked. But I stopped. I stared, and I didn't go through the wall, and I walked a long way back to the plains without him. Because he was the main character in the book who came across this guy was also a plane conveyance person. Like, I'll $3 for 10 minutes. I'll fly you back and forth type deal. And I think it was like the 50s or some shit. And he looked at him and said, what's the wall any different than the ground? Is horizontal and vertical really that big of a difference? Why can you drop through and swim in the horizontal, but you can't the vertical? And that was his only response to him. He's like, how did you do that? He's like, well, you did it earlier with the horizontal. You turned the water into water. You turned the ground into water and swam through it. Why couldn't you just step through the wall? And that's my whole thought process when it comes to this stuff, you know? Is we literally are everything. Physically, scientifically. Take it to the goddamn bank. God blessed bank. Blessed. Get good wordage in my brain hole. Bad thought. Anyways, we are like molecules. Everything is. Literally. Atoms, neutrons, protons. Past that, you got your quarks. Past that, they believe it's literally just light photons. Just like boom, 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 boom. Bouncing together to create the explosions that are quarks and lights and all, blah, 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 all the way out to this stuff, which makes this stuff, which makes this stuff. Make these tiny little ants in front, walking on the ground in front of me. everything is literally everything. Literally everything. And like, I think that's one of the biggest common misconceptions when it comes to like our reality, is that like we've been taught one way of believing, and that's how you know reality. Wherever you are in the world, depending on where you were born geographically and who your parents were and your family were, you're either heavily religious or not at all. Or at least raised that way, and you have a general belief about how physics works. You were taught your math, you were taught your science, you were taught this is how reality is, this is how everything works. They pounded it in your head, made you memorize stuff, take texts in your head, and freaking over and over again read all these books, study bits and pieces of paper to hammer into your brain exactly how reality works. But because, like in the book said, imagination, which is a firm belief of mine, because, good morning, Joyce, because freaking so many people are stuck in that reality of all I know is what I've been taught. This is the only thing possible. This is the only thing anybody's ever done. This is how reality works. I can't talk to that person about the stuff. I'm not trying to waste my time in the most loving way possible to convince anyone that stuff and tricks are real. I want to talk to about people that have experienced it, have done things, and then be able to like be like, look, so this is what I've done. Like, do you get where I'm coming from? Have you experienced something on a greater or lesser scale? And like to talk about it, you know, like I'm on the road because like I want to show people the world. Like, what was it? David Attenborough and all those people back in the day, they used to travel around the world and see stuff. Now, like, nobody does that anymore. We don't go anywhere. There's no real Travel Channel shows. There's no real freaking investigation shows. Nobody goes and looks up, like goes out and hikes up to the mountains to the monks anymore. Like, I can't wait to get my passport and go overseas. Like, I'm a little intimidated to go overseas and never come back to America again. But you know, like, I'll figure it out. It is what it is. Am I going to sit here and dream about walking through Italy? About seeing the Colosseum? About seeing the freaking Parthenon? Like, or am I just going to go do it, you know? Like, that's my big philosophy when it comes to the stuff, too. It's like, there's no big complicated reality. You just do it. That's the whole thing of the book was saying with the whole imagination. It's literally just that. Like, you just think. Like, and therefore it is. Like, they were talking about cloud bursting, which is really amusing. They talk about that in freaking, whatchamacallit, Men Who Stare at Goats, with freaking George Clooney and the guy who plays Obi-Wan Kenobi. And he's all like, and I picked out a big fluffy cumulus one, nice and white and fluffy, had a little bit of fringe around it like it was about to start going gray. But other than that, not that scary. I stared at it, and I tried sending missiles at it. I tried asking it to go away. I tried making the sun hotter. Tried everything under the sun, willing, as he told me, imagining and willing this cloud to go away. And finally I looked at him and was like, I can't do it. And he was like,
What do you mean you can't? It's like, all you have to do is picture it gone. Imagine it gone, and it's gone. And he's all like, here, pick me out a small one. And he was like, the guy was already irritated, and he's all like, so I looked around and I picked out the biggest, gnarliest, deep purple, almost black thunderhead. And I pointed at that one, and he's like, you hate me. He's like, no, it's because I love you that I give you these challenges. And he's like, and I start trying to explain. He's like, he cuts me off, and he's like, no, it's okay. Now, which one is it again? And I look up in the sky, and it's gone. The 20 million tons of rain, the cloud with 20 million tons of rain was gone. There's just a hole in the sky where it was. And I looked at him. It's like, how did you do that? This thing between your head, any of us has a brain. If you put forth the effort with your brain noggin thing to just imagine it, will it, whatever the fluff word, semantic junk you want to call it, to be gone, it's just gone. Poof. There is no hand jive. Like, you can like play with a ball of chi all day long and make wind go weird with it. But like, other than that, like, it's all mental. You know, it's all like just doing it. And like, that's the big thing with being on the road too. Is like, there's so many people that they're like, I want to go to Europe. It's like, dude, I'm broke as heck. Somebody stole my freaking birth certificate, so I'm having to wait for that to get renewed. So I can resent to me, so then I can renew my passport so I can go overseas off of dollars and stuff and money I make off of day labor working for people at Lowe's and like on ranches and doing landscaping just offhand for cash. And I'm still going to go overseas. There's no reason not to. The hardest part about traveling is accepting that there's no real reason not to do it. It's just getting away from that comfort zone. Like I said, no way, shape, or form am I religious. But to quote the Bible, because most people in America are Bible people, it talks about how like Jesus is talking to the Samaritan or whoever. So he's in a town. Dude walks up while he's walking through, doing his Jesus whatnot, and dude says, how can I be like one of your disciples? What, like, I want to learn from you, learn from you, follow you, and understand what your preaching's, teacher. And what he said was, well, quit your job, sell your house and your belongings, and come follow me. Let's go. And he couldn't. I'm not saying I'm fucking Jesus. We're all fucking the Grand Buddha. Don't get it twisted in any way, shape, or form. Ever. But that's a fucking thing. So many people can't step away from the security of the box. Little boxes on the hillside, little boxes made of ticky-tacky, and they all look just the same. There's a red one, and a green one, and a blue one, and a yellow one, and they're all made out of ticky-tacky, and they all look just the same. Everybody's so obsessed with needing this box. I think there's like this common misconception that like 90% of the travelers on the road are drug addict crazy people who can't get a job or a house. Half of us have had those things and don't care, because it's just like, why am I still sitting here? And how many people are in a box? Like, it's like statistically proven, like fluctuating 60 to like 75% of people that you ask who live in a box with like a fucking middle class to upper middle class and above, like until you're super rich, like wealthy, literal billions. They're stressed. They're depressed. They hate their job. It's a job. It's a career. It's not even a job anymore. It's a career. It's what they do at that point. There's not even in and out changing it if they don't like it. They're just stuck in it. It's what they've done for 20 years. They have no training for anything else. They had been in competition against the other firms that would hire them, so now they won't be hired, and they're stuck in a thing. And like, they're depressed. You ask them, like, I've seen tons of freaking articles about it. And it's always like something around like 60 or 75, somewhere around that freaking number. where it says that, like, of the people interviewed, whatever the hell they do the interview, that says that very thing is, I'm depressed. I hate my job. I hate my life. I love my spouse, but I increasingly get irritated with him because I'm locked in a spot with him where either the only time I'm at peace and at home being able to rest is also locked in with my family. We're all stuck in one spot. We're all locked in this routine because we have to keep up this routine to support our family. Like, the amount of, like, upper middle class or higher couples, excuse me, that are freaking, like, to stay stable, both spouses, both spouses have to freaking work 60 or more hours a week, 6, 7 days, 8 to 12 hour days. I know these people, I've met them, just so that their kids can live in a fancy fucking house. Of course I've been to Knott's Berry Farm. I did not go there once while tripping balls on Robitussin. But yeah, freaking, like, those amount of people that are stuck in it, they have the money to sell all this stuff, put their kids through cool school, and even keep the house they already have in. But they're so already locked into the routine of doing the thing, they can't stop. And by the time they manage to retire at the retirement age of 65, no one goes anywhere. I haven't been there in, like, damn nigh a decade, so I wouldn't know. That's why I went on the road early. My aunt did hospice care, and, like, I went to those, like, big ass places, and when I was little, my mom told me, because I was like, what do I talk to these people about? I don't know them. They're like, just ask them what they regret and what's their favorite thing they've ever done. And this one old guy was like, I never went skiing. We lived in San Antonio. He's like, I never went skiing in Colorado. The guy had millions. But for whatever reason, whenever the opportunity came up, he did something else. He had a different opportunity that he sought out. And now he was an old man who had all the time in the world, but was 88 years old and literally couldn't go skiing. And I quote, now I can't go down the bunny slope. My knees don't work. I remember being like 6th grade and just being like, damn, I don't want to be that. I want to go see the world, even if it's tough here and there. And there's all these, like, this common misconception about it where, like, everybody, like, people are like, well, you're gonna go overseas and travel? Yeah. Isn't that dangerous? The most dangerous part of any journey is stepping out your front door. Like, what door, bro? Boom shaka! Look at that shit. Lace back across, too. Mwahaha! Sturdy again. Not losing my coins. And plus, you know, I'm blessed, for lack of terms. Like, I live in the flow, man. The flow is there. It exists. Why should I care? Like, Oliver and Company. Why should I worry? Why should I care? I may not have the dime, but I have street savoir-faire. Know what I mean? Yeah. See? Humans didn't know that Nemo could sing. I can play instruments too. Just haven't found anyone that I like, so I can't, like, get into one. Ocarina, piano, harp, dulcimer, like box harp, harmonica, I actually have one again, drum, obviously, accordion, mandolin, guitar, sitar, bell drum, squeeze box. I think that's all the ones I can. Oh, flute, recorder, saxophone, tenor at least. I haven't played a bass, but I played the shit out of a tenor back in the day. Let's see here. I have a sister who's classically trained like opera singer, so like I know more about scales and freaking things than 90% of the people who like obsessed about it because I was like involuntarily listening to it subconsciously as a kid. No, you can't wait outside. I don't trust you in the lobby by yourself because we drugged you out on Riblin. You have to come in here and sit in a chair with your sister while she does voice lessons. Yeah, I think that's all the instruments that I can play. Ooh, yeah. The banjolele or a band. Yeah, that's cool. I tried a banjo. I've never had, and I've played a banjo. I've never had a banjolele, but I've tried hers. And yeah, I like the whole like plucking thing. This one kid, he called it the crab hammer. He said that it's all about using these to hit, and this to hook the end strings on your up and down stroke. To just a quick sning ding ding, which gives it the ding 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 whole effect. If you want to go like super hick. Kid was from West Virginia, but like that's how he explained it. It made perfect sense. He's like, most people don't know how to crab hammer because yes, a crab hammer is solid, but it's got two things on the end, which grip the things. Ting ding 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 ding. I was like, makes sense. Never had it explained so simply before. I love rednecks. They know things. They just don't overcomplicate it. Just make it super simple. It's like, this is how it works. Huzzah! Make the tying knots to finish it off so it's solid. And then I can show you my coins. I have shiny stuff. Born and raised in the heartlands of Iowa. Yeah. But you have left Iowa, right? I say Iowa because that's how I can like imagine like if the natives, like that's what it was originally named. Would smoke it, would have named it. Where'd it go? I need a thing. There it is. Fire. One of man's best tools. It's good for cutting things. No, but I'm saying, but you've left. Like when we left San Antonio, Texas, to move up to West Virginia as a kid. Halfway through 6th grade, we moved to West Virginia. We're there till like halfway through 8th grade. My mom was playing like weekly bunco or weekly bunco with all these ladies. Some of which, like, they were all like 45 to like 65. And my mom was like 44, was like the youngest one. And we lived in Bridgeport, West Virginia, just south of Morgantown by Clarksburg. And after about like the 6th or 7th time of them cycling through the like 9 ladies, it's always somebody else's house each week. Like multiple times a week. So it's like Tuesdays and Thursdays, I think. So it's like they pop through our house pretty often. I think they were like, exactly, and that's what I'm just about to say, Cole. That's what I'm trying to say is like, she's like, hey, you guys want to go up to Pittsburgh to go to the mall and like the big stores? And she said that they all had a little bit of trepidation, but they got in the car with her, because we had a big excursion at the time, and she drove them up there. And she said that right when they got, like, they turned to where the IKEA is, and they're in Pittsburgh by the airport and all the big crazy stores and department stores, that they like freaked out and said it was too much and that they wanted to go back. She then found out that, like, of the 7 of them that were with her, only 6 of them had never been more than 15 miles away from Morgantown. So, like, past Morgantown. They'd never been out of West Virginia. Any of them. 6 of them had never made it 15 miles past. The one lady had made it to, like, almost to Ohio once. They were all, like, 60s and older. 60 and older. And had never left West by God, Virginia. And I just remember being as a kid and just being like, but why? We move all the time. My dad's got a government job. We literally move all the time. Government sucks. Hey, you're moving now. Okay. Couldn't imagine being 65, 70 years old. The one lady was 71 years old. 71 years old, and you've never left West Virginia. She was one of the ones who had been more than 15 miles from her hometown of Bridgeport. Well, Morgantown, so I guess 20 miles from her hometown, because Bridgeport's like 5 miles. Morgantown's like 5 miles up the road from Bridgeport. That's where the Dollar Theater was. We'd go up there to the Dollar Theater. But that's it. Like you've been out of Iowa. You've seen things. You want to see things. You want to get your shit together and go, Cole. Like you've been talking about doing other things and doing the thing, saving up to do the thing. They were terrified when my mom took them out. They scared out of their minds and wanted to go back immediately. They had no interest of ever wanting to go travel. And like, to each your own, but in my brain, I'm just like, that's why I feel almost like it's necessary for me to go on the road and get some GoPros. That's the next big fund. Is I'm gonna once I pay my bus ticket, I gotta have my bus ticket saved up. Once I get the other half, I'm gonna start saving up for GoPros, and then like I'm gonna go start traveling overseas after my stuff comes in and start showing people. It's like, yeah, by all means, if you're too scared to go anywhere, you can travel with me. But like, there's a lot of people just like her that they tried, but they were just so terrified when they left their tiny little state that they never even got out of the car. They demanded that they go back. My mom said that we didn't go into a single store. Didn't even stop for food. Just turned around and went right back to West Virginia. Do it, dude. You know what you should do? You're in the middle of the country, right? In the middle bit? Minnesota, right? Iowa, right? Iowa. Yeah. The thing. The guy that's like a king wearing a weird boot. Nice. Derp. I plan, if everything goes right, which it should, because yeah. Rewind. No. Bad Nemo. Always be aware of your verbiage. I just fucking almost jinxed myself. There is no if everything goes right. It will go right. So anyways, all of that aside, because I don't even have to worry about it, because it's just going to happen, because that's how the flow works in the first place. Best day ever, motherfucker. I'm going to get my bus ticket, and I'm going to go hang out with my buddy at his festy in Arkansas. And then from there, I'm going to go down to NOLA for Halloween, and go seek out hoodoo, voodoo, spooky stuff. We could meet up in NOLA. We could meet up and like do a bit. You could come like on a live, and we could do like a live stream together. And like you could walk around with me and my buddy, my childhood buddy, if he meets up with us. Either way, I'm gonna be there no matter what. He says he's gonna show up too, and we're gonna go seek out like haunted crap. If you're down to like go seek out haunted crap, like go to cemeteries and haunted mansions and spooky voodoo stuff that may or may not actually be cursed, because I want to touch it. poke. Do not touch doll. May be cursed. Pets doll. Nice hair, dolly. Check it. Dude walked up to me, he's like, do you smoke? I'm like, yep. Like, I just got a brand new apple. And he gave me this nugget. It's pretty dank. I'm gonna smoke some more of it with you. That's why I haven't smoked yet. Like, I literally smoked with him. Like, he caught me off guard. I literally smoked with him like 5 minutes before the stream, so I've just been too high to try to fucking light up a bowl. I was like, no. Then I think it's a sativa. He got me all jazzed and shit. Yeah, I've been to NOLA, but I was with somebody in their vehicle. We showed up, went to the directly to the strip thing, Bourbon Street, found a thing of jambalaya that I could actually eat because the whole dumb bell pepper allergy thing, bell pepper intolerance, and freaking. It was dark, there was nothing really going on, and my friends wanted to continue on because they were trying to go visit some friends out west, so we just kind of left. We were only there for about an hour and a half. We didn't get to see anything cool, and it was definitely late February. There was nothing spooky going on at all. So it'd be nice to go over there during Samhain. A demon. Just saying. Concentrated shit. 20% pleasure, 30% skill, 50% pain, and 100% concentrated power of will. That's it. 100% concentrated power of will, you guys. That's it. Will. Sheer force of will. There is no sacred text. It's just understandings. It's just belief. Sometimes, depending on who you are, and for certain things, even though you can do it, it takes seeing somebody else do it first, i.e. the Jesus allegory, hey, walk out onto the water after seeing Jesus do it. It's like, well, if you can do it, same thing in the book. He's like, well, I'm seeing him do it, obviously I can too, and does it without thinking. But it's, until that, it's like, either way, it's still totally, that's the whole thing, is it's all perception. It's all power of will. You're just going to do the thing. You're just going to walk away and go. There is no, to quote Kung Fu Panda when he unrolls the scroll. But it's blank. It's like, no, it's a mirror. Because there is no secret ingredient. It's just you. And the fucking tiger guy, the bad guy, when he shows up and he's like, but you're just a big fat panda. No, I am the big fat panda. And then he beats his ass because he just bees himself. Isn't that the whole essence of Kung Fu? Is every movement is Kung Fu. All things are what is and isn't Kung Fu. You know what I mean? Same thing with Chi. That's all fucking Dragon Ball Z ever was. You can look that shit up on the internet. Take me to the bank. Dude straight said it was just a greater complex version of Chi. This is what you could do theoretically with Chi, in his mind, if you trained for it. Remember, these people trained. Not like Goku, Trunks, and Gohan and all these people, just were that big. They were always working out. They went into the hyperbolic time chamber and worked out. They did the same thing with meditation and shit. He went and talked to masters and asked them things to learn techniques. Same thing with fucking Inuyasha. When he went and talked to the Kai and learned learned how to freaking expel the demon, learned her ancient shit by beating that one demon dude who had killed and learned the techniques of thousands of masters. That demon wasn't powerful because the demon was powerful, but because he had learned and adapted all those things to himself. That's the big thing, is like, anyone can do that. Like, there's this common misconception that I can't. Well, the proverbial I can't if I can't. The proverbial you can if you choose to. Where's the fucking line, man? Sorry, it's just like, it's one of my biggest pet peeves, is all this fucking limitation people put on themselves. Limitation is dumb. I don't remember what master it was. One of the Paramagundas said, any being, meaning humans, any being has the potential to gain or re-understand enlightenment and become as demigod, as God, as angel, as apostle, grandmaster, semantics, fluffy words. If they seek it, and if they choose to just do the thing versus talk about the thing versus limiting their understanding of what they can do. That's what I was trying to say. Sorry, I got lost there for a second. That's what it is. Any master or demigod, what have you, that is a true master or demigod, what have you, is so powerful, meaning you, is so powerful that if they don't believe they are, they're not. Hence the whole, if you fucking psych yourself up on acid, like, this isn't gonna work, this isn't gonna work, this isn't gonna work. Well, guess what, fucker? You're sober. I'm not talking straight at you, Cole, but like humanity as well, for people that are like, may or may not be hiding in the background. Like I said, I can never tell how many people are in here. And for people watching later, I consistently have been trying to upload these, but like, I can never catch the reception to upload. And being a nomad, without a freaking solar panel set up, I don't really have the ability to just waste ridiculous amounts of time trying to upload an hour-ish long video, you know what I mean? 'Tis what it is. Marijuana, fresh apple. Well, yeah, it's all about power of mind. Don't just take acid because somebody handed it to you. Take acid because you're in the right frame of mind to take acid or what have you, and you'll be good. It's the main rules of tripping, dude. It's old as time. 1, you're tripping. First and foremost, you took drugs. Drugs, i.e. hallucinogenic substance. Anytime you hear me talking about drugs, it's that. Otherwise, I'll say what the drug is. But anytime you take drugs, you are on drugs. First and foremost. Remember that. As long as nothing physically happens to you, just sit back and watch the fucking movie. You'll be sober in the morning. It's okay. Just enjoy the experience and look. That's the first rule, because that's where you get freaked out from, is freaking out and not just sitting back and watching the movie. It's just a fucking movie. Can be a crazy movie sometimes, but from somebody who's taken more drugs than people that brag about it all day long and try to say that they're an energy guru shaman thing, and I'm your grand master. Here, let's go on a DMT journey together. No, like, that's the main thing. Is that itself. Just, the other ones are like, as you know, like, cops and cars are real. Don't talk to cops unless you have to. Don't walk in front of cars. They can and will kill you. Number 3, Water and fruit are good. You like water and fruit. Water and fruit is good for trippy human. You want fruit and water. You can even take kiwis and oranges and strawberries and put them into a big thing of water and then drink the water. Number 4. One of the most important ones as well. If you think you can fly, start from the ground. Not saying you can't, not limiting you, because once again, no limitations. You limit, you stop yourself from doing. But if you are wrong, or / haven't figured it out just right yet, you don't die from running and jumping into the air and falling back on the ground on a level surface. You can be brutally maimed and possibly die if you try from the top story of a building. Other than that, that's the rules of tripping. And that's the rules of fucking life. When it comes to traveling and going and doing the thing. But it's like, you're just going to walk through Syria, China, Greater Mongolia. Aren't you worried about things and stuff? It's like, I don't remember every other day unless something significant happens. I'm not worried about stress or this too shall pass. I'm not worried about food. I'm not worried about water. I'm going to stop smoking pot eventually. Stop drinking coffee and just convert just to tea whenever I can get it. Carry like some instant teas with me in a little metal tea ball of sorts and be golden. What do I need? Well, I need the experience. I need the freaking travel. I need the magic, the chi, the stuff. I don't need the fucking whatnots. I don't need the fancy foods. It's cool, but like I won't remember in a week that I bought the fancy food. So, is it worth it? Yeah. Chai's good. Yeah. Me too, dude. Anytime anybody irritated me in a dream, like no matter what, I was always somewhat lucid dreaming because no matter what as a kid, yeah. I would just fly away. Just like, and mid-dream, no matter what the situation was, and fly. Sometimes it was really slow and I didn't manage to fly away fast enough. But most of the time, yeah, I could just fly away. No running, jumping, I could just fly. Like Superman, and going. It's pretty cool. You can do that shit again. Just takes concentration, thinking about it, unlearning things, reprogramming your brain. Because once again, we get so programmed without even realizing with all this schooling and religious crap and parents telling you things, learning from other people, learning things that aren't truths. But we're so been ingrained as a society that they are truths that we can't see truths until we've seen them. To quote the Wookiee Foot song, quote, all rights reserved to those fuckers. So Rebel, love you. But to quote the Wookiee Foot song, and I quote, because once you know, you can't not know. I fucking know. Because once you know, you can't not know. I fucking know. Once you know, you know. There's no way of teaching anybody the thing. There's no way of explaining somebody the stuff. But once somebody is among the stuff, you can talk about it. You can show them things. You know what I mean? Cheers. Only you can prevent forest wildfires.
since 1944. That is solid gold. I mean, wow, solid gold. Solid silver, 0.999 from the 1920s, recast into this by some cool dude out in the middle of nowhere in the redwoods. My friend gave me this. If you don't own it if you don't hold it. Freaking solid copper. Solid silver, solid copper. Here's another pretty crazy one. This is a Victory Liberty Loan coin awarded to some troops after a battle. Sadly, mine had already gotten a puncture put into it, but it's nice to wear it as a necklace every now and then. By the U.S. Treasury Department for patriotic service in behalf of Liberty Loans, made from a captured German cannon. You can look that shit up. Victory Liberty Loan coin. I think it's like one of 150 or some crap like that. There weren't many made. But that's a cool chunk of history. I actually had one for a while. I got it my first day of basic, actually, or second day of basic. We were underneath the overhang in the morning. We just came down, and a freaking in Fort Benning, the command sergeant major, first sergeant of like who was attached to the 2-star general there. Him and the general and his first sergeant came through underneath the awning. One of my sergeants, because there was 3 companies, it's like one sergeant for each company, and then like another one who just kind of like watched over and helped like mediate. Freaking saw the general and was like, every battalion parade rest, because he saw the sergeant. But I saw the general, and I like snapped, because military school, I snapped to attention and looked at the general and just kind of like looked at him like, he's like in his 70s. I looked at him like, gave him the look like, I'm right? And he's like, well. And so I was like, battalion, attention. And as soon as I did that, he's like, everybody, at ease. Sit down for all I care. Hey, you, come here. And I was like, really? And my sergeant was like, wait. And he's like, go. And so I jogged over there, and he pulled out his own personal freaking 2-star general challenge coin, handed it to him. He's like, I wouldn't have had the balls to correct one of my drill sergeants. But that took balls, and you did the right thing. And that's what the military is about, is doing the right thing, not being scared to do it. So here, see if anybody can beat you. Laughed about it and walked away, talking to my captain of my battalion. So I had one for a while, but then, I don't know, like 4 fucking backpacks ago, it got stolen, when the backpack got stolen. People are sucky. It is what it is. Stuff is just stuff. But yeah, at one point I had a 2-star general, command sergeant major coin. That's what it was, command sergeant major. The literal 2 highest people on the base. At least that base, you know. But like, as I said, they screwed me over on the last week of basic, so I never got deployed. And
I got out, got a G12 general discharge, and went on the road instead. Just tried to turn me from non-combative to combative, and fucking screwed me out of my signing bonus. And like, that was like half the reason I was in there. I was just gonna blow stuff up for a living for the next, like, do glorified demolition for 4 years, have free college, and have $40,000 signing bonus. Like, because they said I was gonna get like 5,000 every other, like, so many paychecks, and was like, I'm cool. I'm just gonna stick that immediately into the bank, and then freaking when I get out and go to college, I'll have money for all my books and all my stuff, because they only give you so much with your GI Bill. You still have to do stuff. I know plenty of people that like have had money issues in college. They pay for college, but some of this, the essentials, you know, it'd be nice to have that money to fall back on. So it's like, well, there's no point. And so I went on the road. Silly bastards. Can you smoke yet? Tiny pecan pie. Where the heck did I put? Okay, there it is. I keep dropping this nugget. It's rolling everywhere. And the pie. The poor pie. Okay. Sorry I don't have the big fancy group that Kaz has. He always has like 20-something people in here. Drop my food, bugs. My words. Why do you want to go to India? What's in India? See, I want to go to India for like the architecture and the history. Sorry, cleaning my screen real quick. There we go. I want to go for the architecture and the history and all that whatnot. I think India would be really cool. There's a lot of like, you know, like just the generic like tourist crap even. Just like the Taj Mahal and all that junk. It'd be cool to see. I should probably rewrite this and make it a lot nicer for you guys. But there's the digits. If you see it,
If you send it here, I'll get it. Either I'll be able to pass through if I'm on the West Coast, or he'll mail it to me, expedited, all fancy fast. And if you want to freaking help me out with food and whatnot, because I am a very broke Nemo, or give money towards my ticket out towards Arkansas, I will. This is my PayPal at MSHEPARD26. I would greatly appreciate you. No pressure, don't give if you can't, but if you can, I am extremely grateful. And I also love snail mail donations too. You can't send anything online, you don't have any fancy stuff like that. If you send monies to this address, my buddy Mike will not open it. It will go directly to me in my adventures. And both with PayPal and the thing, if you send me any money, you can send me a note saying what you want me to spend it for. Put it towards this, do this with it, like, and I will go do the thing. Even if it's like some crazy crap, like go to this haunted house. It's like, hey man, if you're funding it, let's go. Where are we going? Especially while I'm in America right now. I don't have my passport yet, so I can't go overseas. But anywhere in America, I'm just saying New Orleans right now because I don't know where to go. But anywhere in America that's spooky and crazy and haunted, if you fund it, I'll go there. You proverbial yous who watch this later. I'm gonna try to upload this one. It's been a long time since I've actually uploaded one. %, power. No. Oh, a little bit of meditation there real quick. Sorry about that. / not sorry about that. Yeah. I mean, if you're talking about like if you're talking about like while like traveling and stuff, like videos, yeah. I just need to get the right GoPro and I can have it set up to where it's attached to my phone, like Bluetooth to my phone, and yeah, I can have it attached to like a live stream or whatever, just have it going. That's what I'm saying. If I could get a good one of the small ones with a good little battery bank or a thing where I could charge it off a battery bank and just have it mounted to my backpack and like facing backwards and the other one facing forward, like right here on my shoulder. So you see what I see, or on my fucking, like, oh yeah, because I don't wear hats, but yeah, like on my shoulder, like, you see what I see. And down. I would Truman Show that shit. Anywhere. And we could do it, yeah, live, 100%. Like, let's go debunk some shit. Or let's go find some real haunted shit. Let's go find a real demon, a real witch, a real vampire. I'm down. I'll make friends with it / fight it, if whatever is necessary. Friends first. If not possible, then fight. But yeah, friends first. I'm down to have a buddy who's a fucking vampire. Girlfriend who's like some like 2,000-year-old witch. Yes. Where are you, my 2,000-year-old witchy girlfriend? I seek thee. People nowadays are dumb. And no, I didn't say women, people. Everybody. the world over is pretty dumb. There's only about like 100,000 of the like 7.88 million that aren't dumb. The rest of them are so dumb though can get together. They don't like, just like the whole like derp, just like the whole freaking thing with the little kid, the Sixth Sense. There's dumb people. They're everywhere. They walk around like normal people. They don't even know they're dumb because they're surrounded by their ilk. If you're all stupid, you don't know that you're stupid. You know? If you have nothing but your echo chamber, that's all you know. So you don't know that you're uneducated. You don't know that your views are wrong. And whatever it is, from freaking science to fucking chi to fucking what have you and everything in between. Like, and I think that's the big thing that's like most people are so stuck about, is they're so locked in their own fucking understanding and experience of life that they have issues stepping out of it and experiencing something different, no matter how much they want to. It really isn't. It used to be like the thing, like the sexy thing was the fucking dude with his fucking nice fucking clothes, like actual like nice clothes, like, and fucking stylized personal clothes, and a big ass like study chamber with like a big library. That was what women considered sexy and amazing back in the day. Now, like, people don't think, people don't read, people don't pick up books of history of any sort. People read like fantasy, but people don't read history. People don't like study the arts. People don't freaking think about chi. The general populace is too concerned with like whatever show they're currently binging to even think about like trying to freaking do anything. Even like the simplest thing of like a little ball of wind back and forth between your fingers. I'm not even trying, because once you know, you can't not know. I fucking know. Not even a flex. Anybody who can do this knows it's just that easy. And anybody who can't, just keep trying. Eventually, it'll seem, just like the book said, it'll seem so simple that you wouldn't understand how you could never not do it in the first place. Just like when dude was walking on water and swimming through the earth. Know what I mean? Remember, like the meme says. I'm saying I quoted this shit, but quoting that specifically. I'm not saying I made this shit up, but yeah. Fucking, when I say, do you know what I mean? It's not that I think that you can't understand what I'm saying. It's that I'm worried that some of the stuff I say is borderline incoherent. I'm aware of that. Anytime you hear me say, know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not downgrading you. I'm just not sure if my crazy ass was fucking brought it off and did like normal enough terms. Because yeah, I know I'm kind of a wingnut. Blessing and a curse. Warner Brothers? What do you mean, Warner Brothers? Granny Smith. It's green. So you put your green in there. Right? Hey now. Some little lady gave me this little money pouch with all these different street names on it. Makes me smile. Warner Brothers. What about Warner Brothers? So, I don't know if you've seen the movie Mr. Right with that one chick and the one guy. It's like about an assassin dude who's gone like loopy and started like killing the people that put on the targets instead. It's kind of like a comedy.
I want to go to Knott's Berry Farm. Freaking season pass having motherfuckers. What was it saying? Oh yeah, Mr. Wright. Welcome back, WB. Right. Makes sense. But yeah, freaking in the movie he talks about how there's like a flow and everything kind of like moves in the flow. There is no like, and like stuff passes through it, but the flow's always there, you know? So it's just like seeing the thing inside of it and adjusting for it. See, I didn't even have to look. I just knew that I could feel it moving through the flow, and then I put my hand where it's going to be. There is no fast reflexes. It's just understanding the flow and being to where it's going to be. I don't have to try to respond. I just respond. Everyone's in the flow. The flow exists all around us. It's there. It's not like anybody's doing anything fancy. We're all just doing, like the book says. It's what your imagination said. The reason I have a weird view of it is because I had a fucking weird teacher. I asked this kid who was like talking to it, and he was talking about The Bridge to Terabithia, which is like some kids movie. And I was like, why are we talking about The Bridge to Terabithia? And nothing to do with chi or any of this shit. He's like, yeah, it does. He's like, you want to be able to, because I was talking about how like, because he could see it. I could visualize things, and I could take my ball and turn it into whatever I wanted. I could visualize it going, because it's all about mental visualization and imagination. And it'd be a ball, just a sphere, and then I could turn it like a camel, then a fucking pirate ship, then a whatever. I can make billions of them. And he would know what was going on. He could see it. He said they described it as like the colors weren't right for him. He said it was just like flowing colors on top of it, kind of like a weird, crazy, like tripped out tie-dye. But the shapes were there. And he would tell me what I was thinking. I was just like, and I would just change it. And he's like, now it's this, exactly over and over again. And I was like, I remember telling him, I was like, I wish I could see it. And how he described it was, he was like, well, what I did was, he's like, remember that movie, Bridge to Terabithia? Where the little boy is hanging out with the little girl, and she's talking about this big magical world. And he's helping her build this bridge over this creek. And like, she sees it as this ornate golden bridge. He just sees Wood and his friend, and they're imagining. And then he's like, he wants to see it. And what she says is, close your eyes. It's like, itch. There we go. Close your eyes. Open your mind. No, wider than that. No, wider than that. Keep on opening it. Wider. Wider still. Wider than you've ever possibly thought that was possible. For the next 15 seconds, all I want you to do is sit there with your eyes closed and your mind is open, spreading it and stretching it like some big magical piece of silly putty or gum, or just keeps on stretching, and you hold that thing wide open. And now that your mind is wide open, as wide open as you could possibly imagine, where it's touching stars, fading through existences, next thing I want you to do is open your eyes, but keep your mind wide open. And that's when you can see the stuff. Notice clouds are dissipating behind me. Just like the dude. What clouds? participations. Yeah, that's the big thing. Is everybody's so trapped inside this weird little bubble. I'm stoned, so I want to eat things, but I know this is for my sandwich later. I'm kind of like trying to pick it up and eat it. That's what I bought this little pumpkin pie for. Freshness guaranteed from Wally World. Best used by 9/14/22. My crust is a little bit destroyed, but that's okay. My food. That's the main goal, dude. It's the main thing, is you have to. We put all these limits. We put all these limits on ourselves. And because of that, we can't imagine anything greater. To quote the term, if you think you're free, then you can't escape. There's no try if there's no thought about it. If you think you're in the perfect spot, if you think you're in the know, you can't know. If you don't know, you can't know. But once you know, you can't not know. I fucking know. When you don't, you don't. There's no point in anybody trying to explain anything to you. But once you do, you do. And then all you can do is learn. Or try to freaking deny it. There's really only two sides to the coin. But it's still made from a German cannon. Captured in World War I, I believe. Should look that up later. I can't ever remember if it's World War I or World War II. Probably World War II, with, you know, Hitler. That's a cool ass fucking coin. Awarded to some badass fucking troops here in America. Fuck yeah, fuck yeah. I'll take your shiny coin. Not so shiny. And I need to make $100 this weekend. If I make $100 this weekend, I'll have my I'll have the money to be able to get my freaking my bus ticket out to Arkansas to my buddy's thing. And then past that, I'm just gonna stack money for like things there at the festival for like food and shit. Though I'm gonna be volunteering, so like it's mostly gonna be for free anyways. Still wanna have cash to like throw at my buddy for gas money and shit. His old lady and him aren't rich. We're just best friends. I'm not trying to inconvenience him. But like that should be easy as fuck. This weekend's Labor Day weekend. There's gonna be so many people out. I'll catch somebody who like needs some work and can't find anybody because it's Labor Day weekend. I will go to your ranch and clean out stalls if you pay me actual farrier's price, or even like 2/3 farrier's price. You pay your farrier $1,400. You gave me $1,000 flat. I will do the same thing. I will shovel fucking saw all day. I will drive your hoe to the end of the thing, and then I will re-drop it. I am small, but I am machine. That's how I got down here to San Diego from up north. It was I went and did some work for somebody,
I crashed out in his couch, and the next morning, he was like telling me, he was like, hey, just hang out for the day. When I get home, I'll get you that money. I don't know, Alaska. I still want to go to freaking Hawaii, NOLA for Halloween. But yeah, he's like, I'll get you money for your ticket. Got back. He gives me $100 bill. Gives me this cool thing called an IMNIS, which is a like global translator. You can set up with your phone and translate person to person any language. And then buys me a train ticket from freaking the closest spot to Crescent City, which was down in I think Garberville. And drove me down to Garberville early in the morning. Got me there, put me on the train, and told me anytime I come back through Crescent City, I've got a place to crash out on the couch. So not only did I make my money, help somebody do work he couldn't do, / didn't have time to do, but I also got my stuff paid for and have a permanent spot anytime I go through there for a couch to crash on, literally as long as I wanted to, if I wanted to. Of course, I wouldn't abuse it, but just saying, like, I know I'm going to find at least one person tomorrow. / Saturday or Sunday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Labor Day weekend, man. Somebody's going to freaking hook it up. Because that's technically what I want. Technically, what I want is a freaking train from San Diego to Little Rock, and then a bus from Little Rock out to Fayetteville. But right now I only have $100 saved up. Let's see. This is the me money. Some freaking water buffalo horn beads, which is actually pretty cool. And then some change. Oh, look. A dime. But as far as saving towards my freaking bus ticket out to my buddies, I have one blue piece of paper. Somebody gave me the other day while reading a book and charging my stuff in front of Wally Worlds. I wasn't even doing anything. I was literally just chilling there reading a book and charging my phone and my Switch. And he's like, here, buy yourself something good to eat. And I already had money in my pocket, so I was just like, cool, I will. But I just used the money in my pocket to go buy something dank, and I stuck this in my pocket to go towards freaking my bus ticket. So I'm already halfway there. It's gonna be like 187-ish, plus another like $5 for me to get the online the prepaid credit card to pay it online, because I have to buy it through my Greyhound / my Amtrak. But it'd be like 170 to one. It's like 187 on Greyhound or 245 on Amtrak. But I'm already halfway there. So that's pretty dope. Yeah, Alaska, I'm going to my buddy's party out, and it's this party, sorry. It's my buddy's festival. I'm going there because it also happens to coincide with his 30th birthday. But his high school, he was he went to Catholic high, and then his college buddies, they all kind of came together and made this festy there, hippie festival around Fayetteville up there in the college spot 3 times a year called Flux. They're in Arkansas. And he's one of the big head honcho people. His name is freaking, at the thing, his name is Bacon. A lot of people, if anybody's ever been to Flux in Arkansas / Missouri area, met a guy named Bacon. He's my best friend from high school. My best friend from high school. His mom was the first, second technically, because I did drive that one truck on a freaking cow pasture when I was in 10th grade. No. Okay, yeah, no, it would have been 10th grade. Yeah, yeah, but yeah. Like besides that cow pasture, she was the one who taught me to think. He just put me in the middle of a cow pasture on his big ass truck, and he was like, "Don't hit anything or put it in the pot." She's the first person to teach me how to drive and shit. You know, like bacon's my bud. And then from there, I want to go down to NOLA for Halloween and check out Voodoo Hoodoo shit. I hear there's some pretty cool like stuff out there. I want to go check to see if there's anything spiritual, ritual. Sorry about that. My phone was like, you don't have me plugged in. I had to go run and grab my charger real quick, my power block real quick. But I'm back. Hi. Oops. Make sure I close this bag. I don't have any food in here, but that doesn't mean there won't be ants all up inside this motherfucker. Okay. Up inside this motherfucker. Okay. Much better. Much better. Now the battery's not going to die on us. Yeah, after NOLA and Halloween, like, I'll probably head that way, maybe. I don't know. I'm not trying to put any restrictions on the future. I hear you've like inherited Darkside. I used to live at Darkside when Darkside was Wayside ages ago. I miss that place. It was nice to have a fucking spot. That blue van in the corner, if it's still there, which I don't think it is because it's been dragged. No, somebody else sold it. The blue van that used to be in the corner, I lived in there. I had it dragged over there by the rabbits. I also lived in that freaking small trailer right there in the main, right off the main living room. The one that's like half truck, half trailer. Made it all nice and fancy and homey in there. Used to have a big ass freaking water feature with like moving water. What's up, Jeff Rope? Freaking used to have moving water there. Used to have a freaking enough solar setup that we could run a fridge all day long, keep stuff cold and icy in the freezer. We had a generators that we could throw on that ran off of gas that we could freaking so we could work a freaking a little microwave. And then with that, we could offer anybody that came through in the morning for coffee, we could offer them coffee and stuff. And if they wanted like a breakfast burrito, we'd go get it out of the fridge, throw it into kick on the generator real quick, throw it in the microwave for them, and then boom. We drive in like once a month into freaking Costco to freaking pick up food all the way into El Centro. Go to Costco, pick up a bunch of foods, bring it back, stick it in the freezer, and yeah, we'd sell it off. We had the freaking the weekly poker game there as well for a while. Like, it was pretty cool. It was cool waking up in the morning, giving coffee to people, and freaking. Most people say like there were the few regulars, but most of them they're there whatever. Said that sometimes it's nice to see a different version that's of the crowd in the morning that's not just the Oasis. That's what most people said. Didn't even have anything against the Oasis. They were there just because it was a different option that was also doing coffee for $1. Or some donations at the beginning of the month. Like, you bring us coffee, you know? Cheers. The shit was fun. We had a big TV set up at one point. And, the guy I was living there with he freaking had an old school PlayStation 4. And that's the first time I ever played Skyrim, was on this big ass TV there in slabs, running off the solar, sitting there running, making coffee, stopping Skyrim and going doing stuff and then going back. Like my first, like, cause I'd never played a Bethesda game beforehand, so it was really cool. Like, it was one of my favorite experiences about that. Just like, just stuff like that. Freaking, we had a little like not even little, a huge compost pit going on where we were gonna turn into a garden. But the other guy ended up being a douche and fucking getting ran off, and it didn't feel like home when I came back. Even though I was invited like 100 times to go live there. just never felt like my house anymore, you know? Felt like somebody else's house. It was always Mechanic Mike's spot. In fucking Long Island to Mike's spot, always. But like, it felt like my house too. It felt like my spot, like that trailer felt like mine, and then now nothing over there felt like mine anymore. No matter how many times I get invited back. I'd go hang out and shit, but it just never felt like home anymore. It always felt like some like weird like commune. I don't want a commune. I don't want 100 different people trying to tell me how to do my life. Fuck you, I don't care how you set up the kitchen and what you think. I'm just here to live. I'm making food and drinking coffee. I'll make you coffee and food, but don't yell at me about it. You know what I mean? It's like going to a rainbow gathering. It's like, piss pop. Let's see here. One, two, three. 9 200 watts solar panels, and then 8 deep cells series together. So deep cell series together, super cell, and then two more, and then you take those and series them together to make a super, like, and go from a super cell to a, like what we're calling like an uber cell. And off that uber cell, we could do stuff. We could run fans and shit all night long too. Freaking, we had bucking stuff running all over the slabs, extension cords all the way over to my van, into his RV, and everywhere, whatever we had that we were doing. I could freaking, we had enough power, where like multiple times I could be like, both me and him, he could be watching TV in his RV, and I could be sitting there in the living room playing on that big ass TV, playing Skyrim, and we could play till like 11 o'clock and we wouldn't hear the beep of the power going down. Do I remember how much it ended up costing for all that? No. But yeah. 8 batteries series together, 9 200 watt panels. And we had like made this like kind of like lean-to-esque deal out of 4 and laid the panels up like at an angle like that. And yeah, it was great. And the initial investment, but the other dude secretly had a lot of money. I'm pretty from what I've learned. He comes from a pretty well-off family. That's true. I remember at one point he showed up telling me that he was going to make $1 million off of slabs alone. Made me laugh my ass off. It's like, you're going to make $1 million out in slabs. Profit from whatever you do out here. Whoa. Dope. Not doubting you, but I'm not seeing how it's going to happen. That's usually not a really good thing, because I'm usually pretty good at seeing how anything's going to happen, hence the flow. Two or three fucking 200 watts. Mount on the top of your van. A freaking two large supercell, deep cell batteries series together. On top, not including your like van battery. Generic charge controller. You can get them from Walmart, even back by the auto department. It really doesn't matter when it comes to the charge controller. You can get nicer ones, but like you really don't need to spend more than 20 to like $50 max ever on any charge controller. I never do. And then 15 to 2,500 watt inverter is more than anything you'd ever need. Most people use like a 750, but yeah, 15 to 5 if you want to like really have power running through. But yeah, 2 to 4. Like most people in slabs, they weren't doing anything substantial, and that was like running fridge or shit and trying to keep stuff cooler during the day. We're only running like 2 or 4 batteries. Yeah. just make sure that it's, if you're gonna do it, you're doing 2 or 4, no 3. Always keep them even. They last longer, there's less fires and fuck ups. When in doubt, do without, put it off, get the fourth, the third and fourth one later, or leave with all 4. Have a quad cell. Don't have 2 art series together and then a third. The balance of it flows. It's all about distribution. Might as well have the 4th one. Yeah, that's what I was saying. You'd be surprised how little amount of Louisiana Bob ran his whole thing off. He was running a freaking little mini fridge in his trailer and all that shit, watching TV in the morning on his little rig TV, and like pretty much all day long running fans and shit. And he had lights running through all of his trailer, and he had 2 generic 250 watt solar panels and 2 deep cell batteries, a 750 watt inverter that he later upgraded to a 1500 watt inverter because he was paranoid about. But I never saw any issue with his 750. Slabs has taught me a lot about solar, and it's like, you'd be surprised what you can run on next to nothing. You just gotta set it all up right. And then yeah, just make sure it's mounted right, and then yeah, fuck it. Make sure your cables are done right. Mount them so they don't move. Like, I've seen so many kids with buses that have like 3 or 4 big ass panels, just like mini buses, the small buses, freaking with panels just screwed to the top. You know, a couple of them on the road right now that, yeah, they have tons of playing. And the great thing about that, if it's actually hooked up to your rig, just like with my friend Chance's bus, if him and Jenna need power and their batteries are low, it's connected to their bus. They just turn the bus on and run the engine for like a couple minutes, and boom, all the batteries are instantaneously charged, because the panels are really only there for, if you series them right into the system, are really only there for when you're not moving. That's when the batteries are there. I hear you, that's what I'm saying. But that's your best bet. Way better than, like, buses are cool, but like, you need to have a lot of know-how. There's a lot of effort to convert over. There's a lot of vans that you can just get. And remember, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. What do you really need? A Coleman stove to cook stuff on? Green collapsible? You can like open up the back door of the van and just like sit it right there. Carry a little table. And you can take out the back seat, the back seat, or back 2 rows of seats if it's a minivan, whatever, and freaking drop a bed in the back and mount a freaking swivel freaking lazy boy like my friend wow. Jara. I love you, Jara. Orlando and Jara, their van has a fucking lazy boy mounted in front of the bed, and they got a little like TV set up and like little table mounted in, like screwed into the floor. You don't even need to buy one of the ones that's already conversion, like an actual conversion van. And like past that, I mean, like, it all comes down, at least for my thought process as a road nomad person, backpacker, it's what do you need versus fuck luxuries. Luxury's about living in a house. You're on the road now. Fuck luxury. It's about the experience. What are you doing in the van except driving there, sleeping, and occasionally, yeah, playing video games? Otherwise, you're out exploring. You're going to places. You're seeing the national parks and the history and all the things. You know what I mean? I mean, if you're gonna be hanging out with me in New Orleans, like, I play video games, but I don't play video games all day long. We're gonna be go seeking out sketchy shit. Like, I am in New Orleans to seek out sketchy shit. It's funny, my buddy, he just gave me a little Xbox, like, game controller for my freaking phone that, like, Bluetooth to my phone, so now I can play Xbox games on my phone, which means I can actually stream on Twitch now and play video games on Twitch. So that's a really cool thing in my mind. Be able to actually play some Twitch games and get a Twitch crowd going too, because that's pretty big right now. I play some pretty crazy games. I'm pretty insane about certain games. I'm down for a Twitch following to translate over from Twitch over into YouTube and whatnot. That's how Small Ant and CJ Yaw and all them and Fur all got really big. We're playing on Twitch and doing videos from Twitch, cutting them down, their streams from Twitch, and then putting them on YouTube. The next thing you know, both sides are insanely big. That's what Small Ant did, and Small Ant freaking won the Streamer Award last year. Like, a gold award last year. Like, Streamer of the Year, Small Ant. And that's what he did. He was just started Twitch, and then started biting over his Twitch videos. Over, like, whenever he saw something crazy, or a big fuck up, or if he wanted to condense it down to show something. The next thing you know, he's like, of the year. Streamer of the year. Like, that's cool. I'm down. But I gotta be in the right mood. I gotta be in a place like this where I'm like, there's nothing better for me to do except go and play video games until the weekend when I can try to go get some work. There's no point flying on a Thursday. If I make money today, it's because I'm going to be sitting somewhere and someone walks up and hands me money. Just like that $100 bill. I'm just going to walk up and be like, here. I feel like you need this. You look like you need this. God told me to give this to you. Jesus, Yahweh, Odin. You say potato, I say eggplant. They're all nightshades. You know what I mean? Stuff. But if I'm already doing it, I'm already playing. That's the one thing that sucked about a Switch, is I have no way of streaming my Switch versus trying to record it with my fucking phone. And like, there's always going to be some sort of screen glare. It's just not going to look right. But now that I can play games on my phone with my fancy new controller, I can play Xbox Live. I got the Ultimate Game Pass, and I can do all those. I can play all sorts of cool games and stream that shit. Because if I'm playing it, why not stream it? It's not like it takes that much more battery. I'm already using the internet to stream the game. You know what I mean? And I know it's sacrilegious to say it, but like, I might even try Fork Knife. I've never played Fork Knife because it seemed stupid at the beginning. There's like this crazy craze, but like, I'd almost be down to play Fork Knife. I play RuneScape. Not so much anymore because they killed the Revenant Caves and the ability to go to like this one spot and like have the potential to actually make decent money. I don't like grinding. Grinding was cool when I was a little kid playing Pokemon because I was playing, it was the only thing on the Game Boy that lasted longer than a couple hours of gameplay if you were decent at video games. But like nowadays, I just want to play the game. I don't want to sit there for hours grinding to get myself decent. Okay, yeah. See, that was a big trepidation. Yeah, the no build mode thing. Because, yeah, I just want to play the game. I don't want to fucking deal with some douchebag exploiting it. I've never played it because, like, I've watched people play it and watched people just exploiting it to hell. And it's like, well, this looks dumb. You're really good at the game, like, talk to my friend, but he's still going to kill you because he's doing the thing. It's like, yeah, I know. She would still only place, like, 5th or whatever because, yeah, the exploiters would just exploit. Bastards. The build thing was supposed to be a mechanic. You weren't supposed to turn the whole thing into building. Is what she was saying. Ooh. More pets. I see Coles enjoys talking, but I see 3 people in here. Who is hiding in the shadows? Speak. lurker of shadows, say hello to the humans and the Nemo. Yeah, Mad Mac played it a bunch when it first came out. He was obsessed with it, streaming it, doing all that shit. And like, I don't know. I've never been that into first-person shooter games. Like, I play, I've got Borderlands on my Switch, but I don't think I've ever made it past like level 40. So like, nowhere into the game at all. There's so many fucking levels. Same thing with like, I don't know, like, I could play, like, I enjoyed playing Halo and shit back in the day, but the game, the linear against other stuff, but playing online, or like Call of Duty online, it was always seemed like, it was like, if an 8-man match, it was me and my buddy who I was playing with, and then 6 other people who all they did was play Call of Duty Black Ops. And like, they were like machines. It's like, all I could do 90% of the time was respawn and take 5 steps and I was being killed. Like, so I like that Fork Knife is a little bit more spread out. It's not like that. In its randomness, especially now that they took away that glitchy ass fucking exploitable game mode thing, it gives everybody kind of like an even playing field. Even though some people will naturally be better because they're better at first-person shooter games, I have the ability to get better versus just being fucking schooled nonstop by people that fucking use the same guns every single time and have their shit keyed in. Lame. You know what I mean? Same thing with like trying to fucking play Guitar Hero back in the day. Either you played Guitar Hero like some fucking crazy rock god on meth, crack, or you kind of played Guitar Hero, and if you were sitting next to the other person, you felt like a jackass trying to fucking play the most basic song. Even if you know how to play stringed instruments and understand chords and progressions and all that shit. I mean, dick about understanding how to play that stupid fucking button progression game. Fucking Guitar Hero. And then it came out with, what was it, a fucking rock band where they threw everything in there, including singing. But 90% of people, including me and my girlfriend at the time, didn't fucking sing. We just like hummed the right pitch to get the perfect fucking sound when it was choir. Yeah, I was in freaking my friend's place up in Klamath Falls. My friend Liv, loving you, Liv. Shout out to the Liv and her beautiful face thing. She was playing on her TV on, I think, like her PlayStation 4. And then our other friend was sitting next to her on his Switch, also playing in the same fork knife game. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, it was like a couple months back when they still hadn't made the no build mode yet. And so like most people had chilled out on it, but there was one dude who was just being a schmuck. But it still looked really cool. Still like had really laid back, chilled out. And that's what I heard initially. It was like that PUBG, Player Unknown Battlegrounds, where it was just chaos nonstop. And like, I have no interest in games like that. I don't want to play Grand Theft Auto Online if Grand Theft Auto Online was like when it first came out and it was just a bunch of people running around with rocket launchers. Now it's chilled out and you only see like, there's only like 30 people per server. But it used to be nuts. That's what ruined RuneScape for me. Besides them taking out the rev caves with the fucking really high drop table for cool shit, was the fucking fact that like, there were too many people. There's 2,000 people a server. You're trying to go anywhere into the wilderness, and there's like 500 people just sitting out there trying to kill you. If you're even remotely under-leveled, you're dead, and they just take all your shit. You never get to achieve the goal you're doing. Like, there's like this thing called Slayer, where like sends you out in the middle of nowhere in the deep wilderness, and it's like, kill 70 of these, If you do so many of those Slayer tasks, you get freaking all sorts of cool rewards and shit. Yeah, totally. Anarchy Online, seriously. Fucking bastards. Or is that a game? I call them griefers. They're not playing the game anymore. They're just there to cause you grief. Is it a phone game? Or an Xbox game? I can play both. I can't play PlayStation, but I can play Xbox. Anything I can play on Xbox at home, I can play on the thing now. With this magical device my buddy gave me. It even charges off a USB, so dope. Of course it's PC. Fucking computer motherfuckers with your fancy ass fucking abilities to fucking play good video games. Psh. Yeah, I know, I'm just jealous, but fuck off. You know how many times in fucking Skyrim I wish I could just fucking go into the code and just delete Balgruuf from the game? Oh, he can't die? Well, now he's dead. Kill NPC. Boom. Fuck you, Nazim. Delete you from existence. I've seen people do that shit on videos online. Just been like, it's actually kind of cool. That's the great thing about my my Xbox thing with a unlimited Game Pass. I need to throw some money at it so I can get some credits. Once again, I could really use some monies because I'm a broke bitch for things because I can't spend that $100 bill. So once again, shameless e-bag at MSHEPARD26 on PayPal. And you can snail mail / overnight, not so snail mail, anything to me here. I would really appreciate it. For future people who may watch this, because I'm trying to upload it in a little while. Wow, I'm going on 2 hours. This is a long ass stream. I never stream for this long. But yeah, like freaking like, I want to get some, there's like all these, like it comes with mods already installed into it. Like when I start up Fallout 4, Skyrim, I can go into mods or go into the player creation. I've never had the ability to do that on my Switch. Everything's all vanilla. Like it has BioShock, it has fucking Skyrim, but I've never been able to play any of the Fallouts. I've never been able to play Fallout, Fable, or Call of Duty, or Fork Knife. It had Fork Knife, but it wasn't designed very well for the Switch. Everybody I heard that played it, tried to play it on their Switch, went back to playing it on whatever else or on their phone because they said it sucked. I want to play Elder Scrolls Online. The only thing they didn't have that for my Switch. They had Elder Scrolls Blades, which was like the derpiest, shitty phone game ever that they converted over to the Switch. It wasn't a Switch game, it was a phone game, and it was all glitchy. The movements are all twitchy with the sword and fucking actions. What the fuck? It's 2022, how is it still this bad? Got some bot lobbies on the Switch though. What's a fucking bot lobby? Was ist das? What is this? What is bot lobby? I am confused. I am confusion. See what you guys should do. Any of you guys that play video games. You should go and play RuneScape. Old school RuneScape. OSRS specifically. And go like buy a bunch of bonds to make money with. And then keep one. And then get on here on one of these streams and let me know you have a bond for me.
We can meet up on RuneScape, and I'll give you a shout out. We can like stream some footage and upload it to YouTube together of you kicking down a bond, so I can be a member and go do farming shit and make actual money. Because RuneScape is lame right now because I'm a non-member and I can't do any cool shit. Yeah. Actual robot players, yeah. Yeah, botters. Yeah. Fucking bots. There's hundreds of bots on RuneScape right now. It's like half the thing you have to accept when playing RuneScape is that you're going to run into a ridiculous amount of bots. It's kind of lame. It's another thing that almost killed the game for me completely. Because, like, in that one cave, with the thing they called revenants, they're like ghost forms, slightly stronger of every other creature in the game. So if, like, a goblin's level 5, his revenant form's level 15. Laters. Freaking, his thing would be his revenant would be level 15, and he'd have like a certain percentage to drop like a $15 million item. There's even like a percentage to drop a 2.5 something like that $billion item. But you'd have these people, you go in there and you'd like grind killing these things, hoping to get basic stuff. It's called revenant ether. Whenever it dies, it sells for a little bit. The whole thing was trying to get one of these big drop table items. So you get these people, they'd be like, Mark Echo 1. It'd be like Mark Echo, and then Mark Echo 1 through like Mark Echo like 15 would run through the thing, spamming like bows and fucking magic, kill everybody in the room, and then while running the other end to teleport out, just a line. You just see him spawn in and fucking run through. And there's almost nothing you could do about it unless you were super tanky / got away in time. Freaking. And then they would just walk through without all their bots behind them and pick up all the cool loot and shit. Like, I got killed by those guys so many times over. But I've also got lucky from them as well, where like they had just ran through and hadn't come back through yet. And there was fresh loot on the ground, and I grabbed a bunch of things and ran out before they popped through and killed me for being in their spot and taking their loot. So I've gotten out with some pretty decent shit, because they murked people for me. Hey, stealing from pirates is almost not pirating. Hey, I'm pirating from the pirates. They killed the people and took the shit. I was just grabbing the loot before they could get to it. But that was so frequent, it was almost not worth doing it. Yeah, you could go there and grind on these monsters, whatever's like for your level the best you could kill, and hope you got a good drop. But it's a fucking player versus player area. Any person at any time could just kill your ass. And multiple people, it's multi-kill. The worst part, the only thing that really sucked about that spot, besides the whole, like, raiding groups of douchebags, was the fact that, there's a freaking, here's like a high drop table, regular drop table, medium drop table of like 500,000 to like 1 mil, and then there was like multiple mils up to a billion was a different drop table, the highest drop table. If you hit that highest drop table, I think it's like starts at like 800,000, because like one of the dragon, like it's the type of fucking male dragon suit armor or whatever, was at that drop table, it would announce it to the entire cave on the chat. So and so just got a blah blah blah. which then means you need to then run as fast as you can / casually saunter, hopefully, to the other end as soon as you get it, anything of substance, because they're gonna know, and it's a multi-kill area. They may just turn and kill you, because everybody in there can kill you at any point in time if they gang it, and they just charge you for your really cool thing. I got a couple of the items that were worth millions a couple times. Like, I think I got it like 7 times total. I got out of there twice with it, because the other 5 times I got killed like a fourth of the way across the room with whatever fancy item I had, because somebody turned around, or multiple people turned around and killed me for it. Fucking bastards. There's people that were just hanging out in the cave. They weren't even fighting anything. They were just hanging out in the cave, like, together, talking on the thing, just chilling in the corner, like 5, 6 deep, waiting for somebody to get something cool on the drop table, and then they just go murder that guy, attempt to murder that guy and take his shit, and then go sit back in the corner. Just a bunch of high-level assholes, not even fighting the revenants, just waiting for other people to grind for them and then kill them. Fucking griefers. You're not even playing the game. You're just fucking playing the system. Fucking almost can't get mad at you. But now that whole area is gone. The cave's still there, but the drop table on the revenants has been dropped, and they distributed them off a giant web now, and they're not in a concentrated spot. There's not a bunch of people there anymore. They killed it. That was one of the big pools. Me and my buddy Will would sit in there for hours grinding out, trying to get one of those cool things. Literal hours. There's not much else to do when you're sitting there in slabs for days on end, just waiting for the season to pass. Well, we are over 2 hours, and I guess this is where I'm going to call it quitsies. Once again, if you want to show some love, send me anything here. My buddy Mike will get it to me. And there's my PayPal at mshepard26, SHEPARD 26. And yeah, I'll get that. So yeah, feel free to hook it up. Feel free to send me cool stuff for traveling, camping, weird purple patches and clothes. I love purple clothes. And yeah, mad love, y'all. Thanks for popping through and motivating me to keep on doing this shit. Mad love, y'all. Bye.